Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me in another video. So I came across a fascinating article from Purse Blog where they asked FASHIONPHILE about their top selling bags. And honestly, some of them were very obvious to me, but others caught me totally off guard. These bags were a little bit unexpected. I thought I'd go through the list with you. It just seems like Preloved really does make a lot of sense right now. Brands have been reissuing or revamping a lot of their iconic designs. It's just a theme we've seen for years, of course, but right now it just seems the default move a lot of these brands are making. And when you buy Preloved, you often get better quality for money, incredible deals. You can find those like rare discontinued pieces you can't find anymore. A lot of these reissues are tapping into that nostalgic factor. There's that as well, but of course these are incredible deals and you just can't find a lot of these styles anymore. So first up is the Louis Vuitton Speedy. No surprise here, one of the most classic bags of all time, and it's mentioned specifically in the 30 monogram, and it's the perfect everyday kind of medium size. Louis Vuitton has been keeping the style alive with constant seasonal versions. Even Pharrell's era references this with the P9, so honestly it's no wonder it's still at the top. So the next one caught me off guard in 2025, but the more I thought about it, the more it did make sense, and it's the Louis Vuitton Palm Springs Mini. And there's a lot of Louis Vuitton on this list, but this bag came out in 2016 and it was probably one of the most coveted bags for like the later 2010s. It was kind of this era where I think a lot of brands spoke to function and utility, but branding was very important, and branding, obvious visible branding, was at the center of these designs. And of course this is like a monogram all over. It does come with a black leather trim instead of the vachetta. It's the kind of bag where you were able to be hands-free. It was customizable, very casual, but you could wear it a traditional backpack or you could wear it like a crossbody sort of bag, and that was sort of like the style. Personally, when I saw this I was like, oh wow, like didn't the hype around this bag die a while back? But considering backpacks have not been in fashion in terms of the way that they used to be, but in terms of functionality, this is a style that when I just look at how people dress in real time, this is a bag that you see quite a bit. You can be hands-free, great for outdoors. You have to live a little bit more of an active lifestyle. I feel like as of recent, there haven't really been as many options, maybe this past fashion month, but not to the extent that the way a lot of designers offer designer backpacks and like highly branded backpacks in the late 2010s. So it makes sense why Preloved is where people are going for this style, and considering the price of the style has gone up, but you can find these on the Preloved market for a deal, it makes sense. Next we've got the Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis, another popular design from the 2010s. Again, it's a very classic silhouette. Like I feel like a style like this is never really going to go out of style, but again I think of the 2010s as specifically like crossbody branded bags, whereas I feel right now what has been very much in style has been shoulder bags, hobo bags, very slouchy bags on like the unbranded side. To spice it up you might want to add some bag charms, but something about the 2010s I just think of like crossbody, very visible branding. As I think brands have wanted to offer the trending styles, the shoulder bags, the hobo bags, the slouchier bags, or even like bags like the Margot, the Coach Empire, those styles of bags. Considering a lot of brands may not be offering a lot of crossbody options, it makes sense why more people are choosing to go Preloved, and this is a very classic, I would say very like safe Louis Vuitton bag style to get. It's a very classic, very heritage, very Cambridge satchel. It reminds me of the 2010s, like early 2010s when it was the Pranza Schooler, those kinds of bags. Next is the Louis Vuitton Damier Ebene Neverfull MM. So absolutely no shock here. Easily one of the most popular bags of all time. That's no surprise here. And then next is the Chanel Caviar Quilted Wallet on Chain in black. So another style that also does make sense. It's a very, again, classic style, can be worn crossbody, clutch can be worn day to night, and so there's a variety of different iterations of the wallet on chain, and it's a great slim profile, basically as the name states, a wallet with a chain strap. But these styles again used to be very popular 2010s. I think of like the wallet on chains by YSL to even brands like Fendi to Hermes, the Kelly wallet to go, the Louis Vuitton Felici, the Louis Vuitton Favorite. Louis Vuitton also had several styles like this, but again it's like one of these styles where I wouldn't say it's a trending style. I think it's one of these styles where it's always kind of like a go-to style for a lot of people. But I think there's something about the Chanel wallet on chain that is what a lot of people think of. Next is the Chanel Caviar Quilted medium double flap in black. Of course, again, this is a classic, but I also think why they're very popular is because these bags, retail wise, they have skyrocketed in price. So it has sort of made consumers, more and more consumers want to go to the pre-loved market. I don't blame them. Now, what is interesting is I would have thought maybe 5 years ago, the mini rectangular flap would at least be on this list, but it's not. Perhaps it's just like the jump from the mini to the medium flap is still quite substantial. Also, the minis may hold their resale value just a little bit better, but the prices of just Chanel have just gone so much. It's just, again, it's not surprising why people would opt to go to the pre-loved market for Chanel. Another style that caught me off guard, because again, I think like late 2010s, maybe even a little bit early 2020s, it's the Louis Vuitton, the monogram bum bag. Now, I think recently they did do kind of a reissue of this style, but they're showing this image of this specific style. I'm not sure if it encompasses just monogram bum bags in general. Again, very functional, very utilitarian. And while luxury brands have not been issuing styles like this, if you look at people how they dress on the street, think about those like Lululemon little pouches. They're not quite like this silhouette. They're more like this rectangular kind of bag that can be worn as a bum bag or can be slung like high up, the way people used to wear their bum bags like high up on their chest. But yeah, if you look at how people dress, like just the way people will wear backpacks or how people dress in real time. Like, I don't personally see a lot of these Louis Vuitton bum bags, but I think about what people wear, it's not surprising. Next, we have the Louis Vuitton Damier Ebene Speedy Bandolier 25. Again, no surprise here, super practical. It's got the bandolier strap. A lot of people prefer the Damier Ebene. Also, it does not have like the vachetta as well, so there's that. That's no surprise. And then next is the Chanel Caviar Quilted Jumbo Double Flap in black. So to me, again, this was interesting because 3-4 years ago, nobody was into the jumbo, but now as fashion has moved towards bigger bags, people may be wanting to carry a little bit more. Also, the thing with Chanel, like the jumbo sizes have basically surpassed the prices of Birkins, but when you look at these bags pre-loved, you can get them for a much better price. So again, this totally makes sense why someone would opt to go for pre-loved over the new thing. And then the last bag on this list, again, no surprise, Louis Vuitton Damier Ebene Speedy Bandolier 30. We mentioned the 25 size, so again, the 30 as kind of like nice medium to even a little bit larger size. Again, it's very fascinating to see these lists because I always think of what we are seeing on social media, what we are seeing even with my own little niche world, what I think people are actually interested in, but it's very niche. To even what I see that is like popular on the list index, like people still overwhelmingly, they like to have their bags with branding on them. They like it when there is functionality, and if they see a better price somewhere, they're gonna go for that better price. Also, what's interesting about this list is it is just Louis Vuitton and Chanel, and they do reign supreme as having some of the most sought after luxury bags in the world. I would have hoped that maybe we would have had a little bit more variation and people would buy more brands, but these are the brands people most often go for. Now, of course, there is Hermes, which is also in, I would say, that these kind of like top 3 brands, but the thing about Hermes is a lot of people, to build their sales associate relationship, build their profile, things like that, they will choose to opt to buy new instead of pre-loved. But yeah, I also think when looking at what's popular pre-loved, it sometimes shows us what people want, but it also shows us what is not currently available or what like the market is not promoting. Things like backpacks, things like maybe we've seen a little bit more backpacks recently, these kinds of belt bags or bum bags, bags with crossbody straps. You also have to factor in a lot of these are bags where the retail prices have gone up so much that people are choosing to opt pre-loved. But yes, that's my video for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!